Welcome back to Trauma Recovery Anonymous, the podcast. My name is Richard and I am your host. Believing that any feeling is a mental disorder is the insanity that is ruling the world today. All of our feelings and emotions are our God-given instincts that in the face of any danger we're meant to respond with one of 6 responses: flight, fight, freeze, fawn, faith, or acceptance. Anytime you feel anxious, you're worried about the unknown future, you're fearful of something you think is beyond your control. This is God telling you that it's not safe right where you are here and now, and you must get out, get away from it. So in this moment, if my words are triggering you, it might be best for you to turn off my podcast and walk away. It's making you anxious, it's making you fearful, you're worried about what I'm saying. You turn off my podcast and you walk away. Perfectly reasonable behavior for any human being. God wants you to be safe, and He gave you these instincts to keep you safe. The same idea when you're walking home at night down a dark road and something's telling you don't go down that road. That's your anxiety kicking in, saying, maybe it's not safe going down this dark alley. I'll turn around, I'll go home a different way, or I'll go back to my grandparents' house, or I'll go and get a bus or a train, or wait for a lift or something. Our instincts tell us, they warn us not to take an unnecessary danger. Again, it might be flight, it might be fight, it might be fate. You're to take some form of healthy action. None of your feelings are mental disorders. They are your God-given instincts to keep you safe. If you feel depressed, if you're sad or angry about what happened in the past, and it annoys you, it frustrates you, don't allow it to rule and define you. Don't stay stuck in the feeling or try to medicate the feeling. Take that moment and decide, okay, God is telling me to let go of my past. How can I let go of my past? What can I do to make peace with my past? And then do whatever is appropriate. Again, if you're anxious about the future, God is telling me that I'm nervous or worried about the future, I'm fearful of something I think is beyond my control. What action can I take to overcome that fear? Don't stay in the fear. Don't medicate the fear. Don't allow the fear to control you. You use that fear, that anxiety, that worry to take some form of positive action. It might be that in the company you're in right now, there's someone or something that feels unsafe. And God is telling you, you're not safe in this moment in time, in this situation. I want you to take some form of action. Either leave the building, leave the house, leave the relationship, leave your classroom, leave your school, leave your college. Get out of there. Fight. Ask somebody for help. Let them know that you're fearful of X, Y, and Z, and you don't know how to cope, and can they tell you what they would do in this instance, and you copy what they do, and you learn from others how to cope better. You may be standing up for yourself and maybe reporting the person, place, or thing. You learn to take some appropriate, mature, responsible action. Don't stay in the feeling. If you stay in the feeling, it's going to cause terrible thoughts, which will lead to a mental disorder. But you don't have to stay in the feeling. You can step out of the feeling and take some form of action. Freeze and fawn are the healthy responses for young children, for toddlers. When you're a young child and you're dependent on your parents, we freeze and fawn. We shut down mentally, emotionally. We hide, we disassociate. We stay in our bedroom, we sleep, we hibernate. Or fawn, we people please, we pretend we're okay when we're not. We play happy families. We allow people to walk all over us. We suffer in silence. We suffer fools gladly. These behaviors are perfectly okay for young children who can't fend for themselves. But there comes a stage when we go from young children, toddlers, into being adolescents and then into adulthood. And in those moments, we have to put away childish things like freeze and fawn and to embrace the responses of flight, fight, faith, and acceptance. Now, flight, as I said, is walking away. Fight is asking for help, finding a solution to your problem. Faith is always having faith in your parents. Your parents love you. They want the best for you, but they know they're not going to be around forever. And they need you to leave the nest and become independent. And so they'll use what they call tough love. In the Bible, this is referred as agape love. They will try to push you from the nest. It will hurt them to do this, but they're willing to lose you to save you. And they may say things that sound harsh and unloving. They're trying to help you to get up and to take action. They may use phrases that seem terribly hurtful, like snap out of it, grow a pair, be an adult, all these kind of things that sound really horrible to you, but they're just trying to get you to take action, to embrace flight, fight, and acceptance. So understand, your parents love you. Your therapist is getting paid for your time. Everyone else on your social media platform who are in the place where you are victims like you, afraid to step out of the comfort zone of being a toddler, of being immature. They want to stay there and have people look after them forever. But you're in a situation now where you're ready to take that leap of faith, where you're ready to stand up and become a new creation. To go to your parents and say, I know you want me to step up, but I don't know how. Please, can you tell me how? Can you suggest how I can do it? And I'll copy what you say. What works for me, I'll take, and what doesn't work, I'll discard. But I'll learn from you and from everybody else how you guys cope, and I'll copy you. That's all your parents need to hear from you. They'll be overjoyed for you. Because now they know when they're gone, you'll have coping skills in place to deal with situations. So when you're anxious, you realize you don't have an anxiety disorder. Like every other human being on the planet, you worry about things. You're concerned about things. You have fear about things. But now you know you take some form of action. If it's something in your past and you're sad or angry about it, you know you don't have a depression disorder or a post-traumatic stress disorder. You just worry and you're sad and angry about the past. And now how can you break free of that past? The biggest one is forgiveness. We learn we don't forgive each other's to their face. That would be wrong, because if they're abusers, they'll just have to keep abusing you and use your forgiveness against you. So you forgive them silently. You go to God and you say, God, I want to forgive X, Y, and Z for their trauma, the harm they caused me. Now, it doesn't mean that they're forgiven, but what it means is that you give up the need for vengeance. So God takes your battle on for you. Suddenly, when you see that person or hear that person in the future, it doesn't trigger you in any way because they've left your psyche. The energy they had over you has been taken from you. And now it means that when they meet the end of their days and they go to meet St. Peter at the pearly gate or meet the Lord, they'll go to hell straight. They'll suffer the wrath of God for hurting you. You're not fighting the fight yourself, you're giving your fight to God. There's ways around this. Look into spiritual solutions. If you can learn to give your anger, your wrath to God for past challenges, you'll be free to live in the present. If you can understand it's perfectly okay to be worried and fearful about the future, it doesn't mean you stay stuck in the feeling. You don't medicate the feeling, you don't hide from it. You hear what the feeling's telling you and you take that action. If you do these things, you'll have a life beyond your wildest dreams. The other fate is to stop arguing whether the chicken or the egg came first. Understand there is a God, he does care about you, but he wants to help you on his terms, not on your terms. He's not a go-get-you God you can call on when you're having a bad day and then ignore when you're having a good day. He wants a permanent relationship with you, an everyday relationship, morning, noon, and evening. So understand, to learn to let your parents into your life, to ask them for advice and suggestions, your grandparents, your aunts, your uncles, your siblings, your friends in school, your favorite teacher. Don't be afraid to ask somebody, how do you cope with this situation? Once they've told you, you copy what they do. And over time you'll grow and you realize your anxiety isn't a mental disorder. It is a God-given gift given to you to help you to cope with life. And you continue in this vein. Acceptance is to understand that you're not a victim. There's no target on your head. People act out. I posted this podcast not to hurt you, not to attack you. I did it for my own needs to be heard, for my message of hope to be heard. It's not an attack on you. If you're triggered by my words, I'm not attacking you. You're being triggered by my words because of your past experience. But if you can see past that and step into the present and know that your anxiety is a healthy response to danger, your sadness and your anger are healthy responses to past dangers, and so on, whatever feeling you have, it's a healthy response, whether it's anxiety or depression or stress or worry or fear or doubt or insecurity or anger or sadness or feeling abandoned or betrayed. These are all messages telling you to take some form of action. Once you take action, things will get better. It may take a while, but things will get better and you'll grow, you'll rise like a phoenix out of the ashes. But if you don't take action and you allow the feeling to overpower you and to control you, to rule and define you, then you'll break down, you'll get stuck in the ashes forever, and there's no hope of you having a normal life in the present because you'll be ruled by what happened in the past or the fear of what might happen in the unknown future. Your life is here in this present moment in time. The Bible tells us that God's name is I am. And if we're going to have our lives in the image of God, we have to live in the I am. Not in the I was, not in the I will be. Your inner child lived in the I was, and every future aspect of you lives in the I will be. The only life you have today is this hour, right here and right now. This is your past, your present, and your future rolled into one. So understand all your emotions, any of your emotions, anxiety, stress, depression, worry, fear, anger, sadness, none of them are mental disorders. They are your God-given instincts that you're to trust in every situation. Now, if you've been treating your feelings as mental disorders for a long time, it'll be hard for you to do this, but it won't be impossible. The next time you feel anxious, rather than popping a pill or running to your therapist and having a good cry, decide, what can I do? I can go down to the gym. I can go for a run or a cycle. I can go for a swim. I can do some journaling and write it all down on a bit of paper and then burn it. I can go to my family rather than going to my therapist. I'll go to my family and say, I feel really scared. I don't know how to cope with life. I know I'm meant to be growing up, but I feel like a big child. Can you tell me how you cope in these instances? And then copy what they do. And then as you copy what they do, you'll find that works for you. Or if that doesn't work for you, you'll find maybe going to the gym worked for you. Maybe journaling didn't work for you. Or journaling worked for you and going to the gym didn't. Maybe dancing works for you. Maybe swimming works for you. Maybe singing works for you. Maybe having a cold shower works for you. Maybe having a hot shower works for you. Maybe eating an ice cream works for you. Maybe having a beer or a cigarette works for you. You'll find something in life that works for you, that gives you peace in that moment, and just embrace that. And now you know in your arsenal you have journaling and you have the gym. And then the next time you feel triggered, you can't journal, you haven't got a pen and paper, and you can't go to the gym. What else can I do? Well, I can maybe look on YouTube and learn how to breathe. The idea is we breathe into our nose only. When you breathe into your mouth, you aggravate anxiety and panic stored in the chest. And the stress of the weight of the world stored in your shoulders. As you breathe into your nose, the breath bypasses these areas and you can be calm and serene. So try that. Sit back in your chair and just breathe into your nose. And then exhale. And feel the breath bypassing your chest so no anxiety or panic was triggered. It bypassed your shoulders so the weight of the world wasn't heavily on your shoulders in that moment. Breathing into your tummy, you feel yourself, the breath flowing into your soul. And then you might picture the Holy Spirit coming in your breath and touching your soul and cleansing your soul. And then release all that dark energy trapped in your soul. Learn new ways of coping. Understand your feelings and emotions are not mental disorders. They are your God-given instincts to trust in the face of any danger. So whatever you're feeling, anxiety, stress, depression, bipolar, whatever's going on for you, know this is God telling you you're not safe where you are right now. There's someone or something in your environment that's not safe for you. It may be in your imagination. You may be dreaming it. It's okay. Listen to God. And if God says get out of that space, get out of your bedroom and go for a run or a walk or a cycle or a swim, or go into the garden and do some gardening, or go downstairs and do some chores, or do your homework, or go and have a hot shower and then have a cold shower. Use soap and water, soap and shampoo. Go and change your clothes, wear new clothes for a change, put your clothes in the wash. Do some action to get you out of yourself. And you do that and suddenly you feel better for yourself and you realize, I got past that anxiety. I got past that depression or that stress in that moment. But by simply doing something, that's powerful. And now you realize you can control your life. You're not somebody with a mental illness or a mental disorder. If you suffered a trauma in your past, the person who hurt you was the one who's mentally ill. You were the victim. But today you're the survivor. But you need to go from survivor to becoming the victor, to letting all of the past go, knowing it didn't happen to you. It's not yours to suffer. I'm going to trust my feelings, and whatever my feelings tell me to do, I'm going to trust them. So maybe right now, if my words have triggered you, you turn off my podcast. And then later you can come back to it. Understand my words will have been sown in your mind like seeds in your subconscious mind. And it may be a week or a month or 2 months down the road, but something will trigger you to think back to my podcast and you come back looking for it and you'll listen to it a second time. Maybe you'll get one of your friends to listen to it with you. Maybe your therapist, maybe your family members. And you listen to this and you try it with somebody else and you both work together. There are 1 billion people in the world today diagnosed with mental disorders. And this program will help them to break free of that if they can only begin to believe that the feelings and emotions, no matter what they are not mental disorders. If something happened to you in the past, you were the victim, not the perpetrator, which means you're the sane one, not the insane one. You don't have a mental disorder. If you're worried about the future, that's perfectly normal for any human being to be worried about the future. Doesn't mean you're mentally ill. You don't have an anxiety disorder. When you buy into the idea that you're the problem, that you've got a mental illness, a mental disorder, you're screwed, because you can't treat something you don't have. You have feelings and they're healthy. They're there for your benefit. They are God-given instincts. Whether you believe in God or not, they're your instincts. You won't leave out the word God. They are your instincts to keep you safe. When you feel threatened, what is your body, your mind, your heart telling you to do? For me, it's what's God telling me to do. For you, it might be what is your body telling you to do? Right now, turn off your PC and go for a walk. Turn off your PC and go for a walk. Right now, turn off this podcast and go watch some TV. Turn off this podcast and go watch some TV. Trust your instincts. Trust your feelings. They are there to keep you safe. When you betray your feelings, when you deny your feelings, you are becoming a crazy person, because the feelings keep you safe. And to not allow yourself to trust your feelings is the worst thing you can do to yourself. The insanity of it all is when we start treating our feelings and our emotions, our God-given instincts, as an illness, as a mistake, as something not to trust. The worst thing we can do to ourselves. Your feelings and your emotions are not mental disorders. They are God-given instincts. Trust them at all times. Otherwise, you're stepping into a world of insanity. There are 1 billion people in the world diagnosed with mental disorders, 390 million children diagnosed with mental disorders. Please be kind enough to share this with everybody and anybody you know. If you'd like me to work with you, you can contact me at appointments at traumarecoveryanonymous.com. And this book is called How to Live Stress and Anxiety Free 24 Hours a Day. And the trauma program is Healing Any Trauma Memory and Trauma Recovery Anonymous. Thank you for listening to me.